Portugal looked finished after Croatia took the lead, but what happened next turned this match into one of the wildest games of the World Cup. 4 goals were ruled out, Cristiano Ronaldo faced a career-defining moment, and Luka Modrić came within seconds of saving Croatia. So how did Portugal survive the chaos and destroy Croatia's World Cup dream? This was not a simple win. It was a match that kept changing every few minutes. Portugal began the round of 32 clash in Toronto with more control. They moved the ball across the field, pushed Croatia back, and tried to attack through Rafael Leão and Pedro Neto. Croatia did not panic. Luka Modrić dropped deep. Mateo Kovacic stayed close, and the back line protected the center. This was also the first World Cup meeting between these nations. The stands were filled with loud Portuguese and Croatian support, so every attack felt larger than normal. Ronaldo and Modrić were the main names before kickoff, but the match quickly became about the players around them. Leão, Perisic, Costa, Vega, Kovacic, and Ramos would decide where the night went. The first real warning came after 8 minutes. Leão powered down the left and cut the ball back toward Bruno Fernandes. Bruno's first shot was saved by Dominik Livakovic. His second effort was blocked before it could reach the net. Portugal had found a weakness. Croatia were giving Leão room to run, while Neto was also beating Ivan Perisic on the other side. Cross after cross entered the box, but Portugal could not finish any of them. One delivery passed close to Ronaldo after Livakovic came off his line and failed to claim it. Another cross reached the far side, where Ronaldo and Bruno both stretched but arrived too late. Portugal had the ball. Portugal had the territory, but Portugal did not have the goal. That mattered because Croatia were comfortable suffering without losing their shape. They were not trying to win the first half with non-stop attacks. They were waiting for Portugal's speed to drop. Their plan was to use Martin Baturina against João Cancelo and send crosses toward Ante Budimir. Ruben Dias stayed physical with Budimir and stopped most of that threat. Still, Croatia reached halftime at 0-0, which was already a small victory for them. Portugal had controlled the opening half, yet Croatia had survived it. Then Zlatko Dalic made the change that flipped the match. Budimir was removed at halftime and Igor Matanovic entered. Croatia came out faster, pressed higher, and attacked with much more force. Portugal suddenly looked slower. The passing became less sharp, the pressure disappeared, and Croatia took over the areas Portugal had controlled before the break. In the 53rd minute, the warning became a goal. Josip Stanisic sent a cross from the right. The ball moved through the box and reached Perisic at the back post. Perisic controlled it on the turn and drove a low shot under the advancing Diogo Costa. Croatia were ahead 1-0. The 37-year-old Perisic had punished Portugal from the same wide area where Neto had caused Croatia problems in the first half. One sharp move had changed the entire match, and Croatia almost struck again right away. Petr Sucic found Matanovic inside the box. Matanovic finished past Costa, and Croatia started to celebrate a second goal. Then the flag went up. Offside, that was the first goal erased from the match. Croatia kept coming. Sucic cut inside from the left and fired a hard shot that Costa stopped with his legs. Portugal were in real danger. The team that had controlled the first half was now one clean Croatian attack away from elimination. But this match was about to become even stranger. Leão stepped forward and hit a fierce shot from around 25 yards. The ball crashed against the bar. Portugal were inches away from an equalizer. Moments later, Ronaldo controlled a long pass and finished into the net. Toronto exploded. Ronaldo believed he had finally scored his first World Cup knockout goal. The celebration did not last. The assistant referee raised the flag, and the goal was ruled out for offside. That was the second goal erased. Portugal coach Roberto Martinez knew he could not wait. In the 63rd minute, he made 4 changes. Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto, Vitinha, and João Cancelo went off. Bernardo Silva, Francisco Conceição, Nelson Semedo, and Gonçalo Ramos came on. It was a huge decision. Portugal removed several major creators at once and added fresh speed, movement, and another striker. Yet the next turning point did not come from open play. Portugal won a corner. The first danger was cleared, but players and coaches on the Portugal bench immediately demanded a review. Inside the box, Nikola Vlasic had wrapped his arms around Renato Veiga and pulled him down. Referee Espen Eskos went to the monitor, penalty to Portugal. Croatia had survived Leão's shot off the bar. They had survived Ronaldo's disallowed goal. But they could not survive Vlasic's mistake. Ronaldo placed the ball on the spot in the 68th minute. Livakovic waited. Ronaldo stepped forward, paused, and fired straight down the middle as the goalkeeper moved away. Portugal were level at 1-1. The goal carried major weight. It was Ronaldo's first goal in the knockout stage of a World Cup. At 1:40, he also became the oldest player to score in a World Cup knockout match. But Portugal were not safe. In fact, Croatia created the better chances after the equalizer. Kovacic drove forward and sent a low effort toward goal. Costa pushed it onto the post with his fingertips. Seconds later, Kovacic tried again from outside the box, and Costa tipped the shot over. Then Matanovic forced another save at the near post. Croatia were not holding on for extra time. They were trying to win the match. Sučić also put the ball in the net, but the flag went up again for offside. That was the third disallowed goal of the night. Every time Croatia appeared to break Portugal, the goal disappeared. But the pressure was real, and Martinez reacted again. In the 81st minute, Ronaldo was removed for Ruben Neves. Taking Ronaldo off in a knockout match was a massive call. Yet it showed what Portugal needed. They did not need one more player waiting to finish. They needed another midfielder to close the spaces Croatia were using. The change helped. Portugal regained control of the ball. Ruben Neves gave the midfield more protection, while Leão became the main escape route on the left. Portugal kept sending play toward him, asking him to produce one final moment. Croatia still had a huge chance. Mario Pasalic rose at the far post and directed a header toward goal. It bounced just wide. Croatia had been close again, but close was no longer enough. The clock passed 90 minutes. At that point, one mistake could end a World Cup campaign. One cross could save a legend or send another legend home. In the 4th minute of stoppage time, Leão attacked the left side again. He created room and delivered a superb ball across the box. Gonçalo Ramos moved into position and met it with his head. The ball flew past Livakovic. Portugal led 2-1. Ramos had entered from the bench only 31 minutes earlier. Now he had scored the goal that appeared to end Croatia's World Cup. Leão dropped to his knees. His reaction looked like relief more than joy. Portugal had been pushed to the edge, and one perfect cross had pulled them back. But the game was not finished. The celebrations lasted long enough for more time to be added. Croatia threw every player forward. The match moved beyond 10 minutes of stoppage time, and Portugal struggled to clear one final attack. Then Croatia scored. Joško Gvardiol forced the ball into the net. Croatian players ran away in celebration. The score looked to be 2-2. Portugal looked broken. Croatia believed they had saved their World Cup with almost the final touch. VAR stopped everything. The review checked the build-up and found an offside after the ball took a touch from Matanovic. The equalizer was cancelled. That was the 4th disallowed goal. For the first time in World Cup history, 4 goals had been ruled out in one match. Croatia's players could barely believe it. Their supporters reacted with anger, and bottles were thrown onto the field. Perisic tried to calm the crowd as the officials prepared for the final seconds. The match finally ended after 109 minutes of football. Portugal had survived 2-1. The final score only tells a small part of what happened. Croatia had taken the lead, created major chances, hit Portugal with wave after wave in the second half, and put the ball in the net 4 times. Only Perisic's goal counted. Portugal had also seen Ronaldo denied by offside, but they stayed alive through one penalty, one brave coaching change, one huge performance from Costa, and one perfect link between Leão and Ramos. That is why the word destroyed fits the dream, not the performance. Portugal did not crush Croatia. They shattered Croatia's belief at the last possible moment. For Luka Modrić, the defeat may have closed his World Cup story. At 40, he had entered his 5th tournament, still chasing the trophy that escaped him in the 2018 final, and again during Croatia's 3rd-place run in 2022. He walked off knowing Croatia had been seconds from forcing extra time. Ronaldo's World Cup continues instead. The two former Real Madrid teammates shared an embrace after the final whistle. One legend moved forward. The other was left facing what could be his final exit from the tournament. Portugal's night also ended with an emotional tribute. Ronaldo put on a red number 21 Diogo Jota shirt and led the celebrations. He later wrote, "We won for us, Diogo and Portugal." Yet, there is little time for Portugal to celebrate. Spain are waiting in the last 16s in Dallas. The winner will move into the World Cup quarterfinals. Portugal will take confidence from the comeback, but the Croatia match also exposed serious problems. Their attack created pressure without enough clean finishes. Their midfield lost control after halftime. Their defensive line allowed Croatia to create too many clear chances. Against Spain, those mistakes could be punished even faster. Still, knockout football is not only about control. It is about surviving the moment when everything appears lost. Portugal survived Perishic's goal. They survived Croatia's second-half pressure. They survived 3 Croatian goals that were ruled out, and when the final opening arrived, Ramos did not miss. Croatia were not destroyed for 90 minutes. Their dream was destroyed in one cross, one header, and one final VAR decision.